Hi, I'm Dennis Fisher. I'm a security evangelist with Kaspersky Labs America's office in Boston. And I'm here with Andrei Nikishin and Vladimir Zapolensky, two of my colleagues. We're here today. We're going to talk about whitelisting, which is one of the newer security protection technologies that we're talking about. So guys, let's start out. Vladimir, tell me a little bit about whitelisting, what it is, and maybe why we need it.
It's very simple to explain what whitelisting is. So everyone knows blacklisting. How it works. It's the black files which are not allowed to be executed on a user's PC, they're just blocked. So it's not allowed for files for execution. So whitelisting works the same way, just vice versa. So only trusted files that are trusted by antivirus company are allowed for execution on user's PC.
Okay, so if that's how whitelisting works, and we're going to end up with sort of a pretty large database of whitelisted files, right? I mean, how do you get that list of files to the endpoint, to the end user? Do we just send it to them?
Okay, there are more than 100 million clean files in our whitelisting database. It's a huge number. We got a lot of sources how to get this clean file to our lab. First of all, we have a partnership with a number of software vendors. Almost all famous and big software vendors are our partners. And we have a special crawlers to crawl the internet and to check this file and other stuff. Okay,
so if one of our partners produces a new software file, they'll be able to upload it to our cloud database so that we can check it and make sure that it's safe?
Absolutely. So one way, our partner will upload a new file to us before release, and we will know everything about this file beforehand. Or we can go by timer from time to time to the FTP site of the partner or HTTP site of the partner and download it by ourselves. And again, before release, we will be able to know anything or everything about this particular file. And this knowledge will prevent our customers from, false positive probably, or will allow to better detection and better protection.
Yes, you're quite right. Actually, the reason why we have started this whitelisting is also very simple. So they create a lot of malware. For example, in 2007, we had 3 million unique files in our labs repository.
You mean black one, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Malicious.
Black
malicious,
files.
Yeah.
Yes. In 2008, we've got 17 million black files.
5 times more?
Yes.
Almost 6.
Okay.
But
almost
in
6,
2009, we already had 34 million black files.
Wow. Again, 2 times more.
Yes. Yes, imagine it's real, it's incredible growth. So what should we expect within the next few or several years? So it's really impact for antivirus vendor because it becomes more complicated to distinguish the legal files and the malware files, because also the malware becomes more complicated. And it brings the challenges not only to antivirus industry, but also to software vendors and distributors.
So Andrei, what are the chances that a malicious file could get through to the whitelist? Sort of a false negative, if you will.
False negative. So, I can imagine that, I can think that probability of such events is very, very low. Because despite of our downloading from trusted source, anyway, we check every file we downloaded from trusted source by our external, antivirus external tool, and especially internal use-only tool to be sure that this particular file definitely clean. Because we had knowledge, we had stories that some files from well-known vendors were infected.
Yeah.
That sometimes it happens.
Yes.
So, and because of that, we already double-check every file we downloaded to our database.
Because it seems to me that false negative is almost in some ways worse than a false positive, because you're telling our users this file is definitely safe.
Yeah, sure,
so
definitely.
we want to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we obviously have a lot of partners that are already involved with this. We're getting software from them. Can other partners get involved? How do people get involved with the whitelisting program?
That's very easy. We have a special whitelisting partner program, and every software vendor could participate in this program. So we, on our websites, we have a special page to that, and it's very easy to fill in the form, and as soon as possible, within hours, our colleagues will answer, and after signing the agreement, we have to automatically add this source to our database, and we will receive all of the files of this particular software vendor into our database.
Okay, and so each time they produce a new version of their software or new file, they can
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
add it.
So, and the best way to communicate with us to send us files before release. So in this case, all our customers would be protected beforehand, and we eliminate all possible false positive in this case.
Right. Okay. So Vladimir, how do you see this fitting in with the traditional way that antivirus works? You know, the traditional blacklisting. Is this is whitelisting going to be the future exclusively, or are they both going to work together?
Of course, if we imagine, so let's say the black future, the worst future, there will be a day when they will produce more malware than a clean legal software.
Right.
Yeah, I should say that nowadays we are very close to this border, actually.
Yes.
So you mentioned a huge number of black files nowadays in our database, and white files, it's something similar. Not the same, of course. White files nowadays is more than the black files, but nevertheless, the amount is very similar.
Exactly, exactly. So in this case, you can always isolate your network or your computer and allow only whitelisted software for execution, because we have this whitelisting integrated by default in our products.
Okay.
So I think that the approach, the security approach, should be more, more wide, because we have to expect the malware, we have to expect the different behavior of malware. So I think that whitelisting, of course, it's good and it's very prospective in future. But also another technologies are as a blacklisting, as detection by behavior.
Right.
Some proactive protection.
Yes, proactive protection should be also alive and should be also treated as unique approach. It should be complemented.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like multi-level protection. So and whitelisting is just one of the levels of protection. So it's not a silver bullet. There is no silver bullet in protection. Yeah.
So they'll all be complementary. We'll have whitelisting, blacklist, and heuristics and behavior based.
Yeah. And from a customer's point of view, to activate the whitelisting functional in the product, customer has to participate in our cloud security network, or KSN, and check the checkbox. In this case, also some extra functional cloud protection would be enabled. So, and customer would be have a better protection. So cloud technology, it's a key of a whitelisting, by the way.
Okay. Yes, you're right, because the whitelisting is the message for whitelisting is cloud technology, because you imagine the number of whitelisted files. So even today, as Andrei has already mentioned, we have more than 100 million unique files in our repository, and it's impossible to distribute this knowledge among our users.
Yeah, just imagine the size of the database we have to distribute. Yeah,
so that means that there should be some technology that allows you online and very quickly to check each file's reputation. So that's why it should be cloud technology.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you all for joining us as well.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you.
Thank you.